black folks in Tarrant County, there should be Crystal Mason's billboard everywhere.
Yes.
This is the thing, and I've hit some pastors there.
Come on.
And I said, how in the hell are y'all not making her the centerpiece of black turnout? You've got a racist MAGA sheriff in Tarrant County, a racist district attorney, an even more racist county judge who just drove through a racist gerrymandered district to take out Elisa Simmons, county commissioner, because the Republicans have a 3-2 majority. He wants a 4-1 majority, use this racist white firm paid for by county voters, and then wouldn't even let them testify before the county commissioner's court. And I've been saying that if folk in Montgomery made Rosa Parks the rallying cry, in Tarrant County, it's Crystal Mason. Right. This is 9 years this has been going on. Insane.
It is. Well, let's look at Montgomery in that context. Did we know who the enemy was in Montgomery? We absolutely did. The late Neely Fuller said, if you don't understand white supremacy, everything else you think you understand will only confuse you. If a bully keep coming and you keep giving it up, you probably deserve what happens. Not in a moral sense, but when you beat a bully's ass, you beat the shit out of them, they stop. These crackers are doing what they're doing because we haven't stopped them.
Yep.
You say it all the time, Roland. We vote our numbers, it's over. In Tarrant County, absolutely. You say, since you don't want Crystal Mason to vote, you Klansmen, we're gonna break your political back. And all the people come say, well, we're all just trying to build a better society. No, you go sit your ass down. We're not Democrats, we're not Republicans. You always say, we're for black people. And this is to all the people out there call us shills for the Democrats. You Negroes need to go to hell because you are scared of your master. You worship other white masters, perhaps Karl Marx or, you know, Antonio Gramsci, whoever you worship. But what you don't understand is that old school black people understood the thing. In Montgomery, you the enemy, Mr. Mayor, you the enemy, Bull Connor, you the enemy, and we're gonna organize. Right. What we won't do today is call a thing a thing. The Democratic Party are racists. They are racists. And they are willing to sacrifice us. We need to use the Democratic Party the same way we used to use the Republicans or any other body. It's a delivery system. So in Texas, finally, let me ask you this, and this goes to everybody. These crackers are gerrymandering, counting on us not voting.
Yep.
If we vote our numbers, do those seats flip?
Yes.
But guess what? You can't gerrymander the DA race because it's countywide.
Right.
And guess what? In
Come on, talk to
2026,
it.
that race is up. I just pulled the numbers for 2022. In 2022, the last time that race was up, only 47% of those who were registered to vote showed up to vote. That specific race with Phil Soros, he got about 310,000 votes. The black woman who ran against him got about 272,000 votes. That's the difference of 38,000 votes. You're trying to tell me we can't find 38,000 black votes in Tarrant County?
Right. But what's the message, though? Well, I mean, in other words, what's the message that would do that? Like you said, Republicans are vibes. Reese, you said it. What's our vibe? We scared to call a thing a thing. You're racist. Our vibe is break your fucking back.
The state house just ran your legislators to the state of Texas to take away your right to vote.
Come on.
This racist DA is stopping you from being able to vote. So that is the message.
Exactly.
If we're going to call it out, we have to call it out.
And again, Mustafa, I'm using Montgomery for a reason. And I hate when black people bring up Montgomery to talk about the boycott. But you can't talk about the boycott if you don't deal with the women's political organization that actually was planning the boycott. That was Joanne Robinson and those women. So when they got sick and tired, because what people don't understand, she sent a letter to the bus company the day after the Brown versus Board of Education decision saying desegregate. This had been going on for a year. She was one of the people who was denied seating up front. And when that day happened, when the phone call came in, she grabbed 2 Alabama State students, went to the basement of the president's office, mimeographed those copies, called 9 sisters and said, we're dropping them off, dropped the pamphlets off. That pamphlet was disseminated to 50,000 black people. And the only reason the white people found out, because a black housekeeper got it and gave it to her white master. And Joanne said they were initially pissed. She said, but what happened was all the press was there at the church that night, and they actually spread the message a lot faster. But that thing was done covertly. Nobody white in Montgomery had any idea. And then she said, because she worked at Alabama State and there were other professors, they did not want folks to lose their jobs. So they sacrificially stepped back and said to the preachers, y'all take it from here. But it doesn't happen unless those black women were already organized and had a plan of action. That's what has to happen in Tarrant County. We keep saying, we went to Kansas City, the Urban League, and they were like, people would turn to vote. I'm like, you hope they turn out to vote.
Right.
No, you got to go knock on the doors and already know who's going to come out to vote.
That's right.
And not you hope they turn out.
That's right.
In Montgomery, they understood, when folks said loose lips sink ships. So they understood that they had to keep things tight. They had to have the strategic plan. They had to make sure that people were not only motivated, but they also had to understand what does the goal look like, as we move down the road. Y'all were talking about, so what is the talking point around what's going on to Sister Mason? It is about illegal lynching.
Yeah.
It is about illegal lynching that continues to happen not only to her, but continues to happen throughout the black community all across this country.
That's right.
Folks get that, right? Because they understand how lynching has impacted our communities, and they also understand how the legal system has played a role in that.
Yes.
And they also should have the understanding of how your vote can actually change that. So our dear sister talked about the DA, right?
Yeah.
Most folks don't understand
right.
how their vote plays into having the DA in there. So we have to make sure that we're utilizing language that our people can actually resonate with, that actually moves through our DNA because of everything that we've been through.
There it is.
Decade upon decade. So that's the way that I operate. I make sure that I'm creating the imagery and the words that are necessary for folks that I'm working with to really get what's going on.
So Crystal, I'm sorry, so Reese, if you say free Crystal Mason, you free Crystal Mason if you defeat his ass.
That's true, but I think we need to confront the fact that in our community, as opposed to in Montgomery, there are a lot of people who feel very comfortable with black women being punished. And Republicans understand that when you put a black woman out front, oh well, look at what LaMonica McIver, she is still facing federal charges, trumped up charges for some bullshit, and we barely hear about it. We've talked about it on this show, of course, and in other black media spaces, but is there an uproar? They tried to censure her this week.
Why isn't there uproar?
Because black women are unprotected in this country, including in
our...
But wait, hold on. Let me give a couple more examples. Let me give a couple more examples. This administration has shown time and time again, when they attack black women, there's very little response. 300,000 black women have lost their jobs. And there's a shoulder shrug to that. Adriana Smith was kept on life support. She was an incubator for a baby for months. And she was taken off life support, and there was very little fanfare about it. And so the problem with, I wish in the depths of my soul that we can make a black woman the poster board and say an injustice against the black woman is an injustice against our entire community. But we are seeing each day the way that this administration is proving that to not to be the case. And we're seeing with Crystal Mason's case, as abhorrent as this has been and as much coverage as this has gotten on your show, it has not moved the needle.
And I'm going to go back to Stokely Carmichael. Kwame Ture.
He's a man.
No.
I just want to expose the absurdity of this lens.
For me, the issue is not. For me, the issue is not because it's a black woman, black man.
I'm telling you, no.
Here's what I think was
disinformation. The issue. Right, you talk about that all the time.
But here's the fundamental issue. This is just a very clear fundamental issue. Carmichael said, "You can't show me an African American who has made a difference for our people who did it as an individual." They did it through an organization. Right. The problem in Tarrant County, and the problem, and I go back to when I say we had a whole generation of people, baby boomers, who were the glue in our community. What has happened is we've had folks who believe that, well, if I individually tweet, individually post, or do my thing, it's a difference. No, the only way this thing happens in Tarrant County, the only way you can activate the black belt in North Carolina. That's East North Carolina. The only way you can activate black rural Georgia is there has to be an infrastructure, an organization through which people can work through. So when they say, hey, okay, I'm down with this, Reese, where do I sign up? Who do I call?
Let me tell you what I was.
And if that doesn't happen, this is the problem. I can't.
Yeah.
I literally right now cannot tell the audience, call this person over this group to do that. And when you start looking at cities around the country, that is what has happened. We have leaned for years on our legacy civil rights groups.
Yep.
That ain't it. So if that ain't it, all right, then what's the entity or series of entities, which is why I have consistently challenged the D9 and the Prince Hall Masons and the Eastern Star and the Links and all these groups. We have black infrastructure, but our black infrastructure is used for personal gain, inward gain, and not external black gain. That's our greatest problem.
Yeah, we need
you gotta have structure. Real quick, because I do a flight to catch to Atlanta. Let me just real quick.
I gotta talk about
I'm gonna let you do it. Just hold on. So let me shout out the Noble Women's Conference, the Noble Women's Annual Legislative Conference. I am moderating the panel 9:30 tomorrow. I'm going to be there. The flight's at 10:10. I'm going to be there, so go.
Okay, real quick.
And don't get the finger. Go.
Anyway, so real quick, to your point, I'm a strategist, and I'm always advocating what's the strategy. It can't be inward. It can't be personal, right? Rosa Parks is a great example. The Plessy v. Ferguson is a great example. These were strategic cases, right? Rosa Parks was not just this tired old black woman on the bus. No, she was chosen, right? And she had the entire infrastructure of the NAACP supporting her in that effort. Plessy was a strategic moment in history where they knew what the outcome was going to be, and they were prepared for that moment. The strategic piece is missing in the messaging, in the execution, and I just want to say, the way in which the Republicans understand how to pull on those pressure points, we don't understand MAGA the way Republicans understand other groups in this country and culture.
Hello, Eugene. Randy, go.
And we need to stop being so satisfied when we get a little piece of something. What you're saying about our social groups is absolutely right. And I believe that it became individualistic and we feel like, oh, we've made it because I'm in this group and I'm in that group. And we don't have to serve, the groups don't have to serve a greater purpose. We're so worried about the debutante ball and the boule.
Or whether we're going to lose our 501c3 status.
Absolutely. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying those things aren't valuable, all right? But we have the power. I was just saying there's a group 17,000 members strong or something. What are we doing? So, I don't want to just see a letter that we're writing that we're disappointed in what happened, but what are we doing? If we have this power, we owe it to our people. And to think that we have overcome is crazy. So we need to pay attention and realize we haven't overcome and there's work to be done.
Before I go to Eugene, I'm going to say this right now, and this is the challenge. The person who is fighting the hardest in Tarrant County is County Commissioner Lisa Simmons.
Yes.
And I'm going to say this right now. I do not understand why in the hell every single one of you members of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated is not going hard for your soror.
You're right.
You do not have to take a vote. You do not even have to discuss it in your organization. Every AKA in Tarrant County can join together and rise up and say, we are going to stand with our sister. Y'all ain't even got to wear pink and green. You don't even have to wear, no. Because see, here's the problem. Our D9 organizations are so scared that we tell folk, don't wear your colors, don't wear your letters, because we might get sued. So the point I'm making is, if there is an organization in Tarrant County that could serve as the central mobilizing vehicle, it's the AKs in Tarrant County, because it is your soror who they racially gerrymandered out of a position. Oh, hold up. And by the way, for all you AKs in Tarrant County who like, why he calling us out? It was your AKA, Joanne Robinson, who was the one who came up with this in Montgomery. So that's in your DNA. So we talking about who should be there. That's the perfect vehicle to drive this thing home. And it don't matter if Crystal not in a sorority, because when you stand up for Crystal Mason, you standing up for black girls, black women, black men as well. So I'm just simply saying, if we want to know where you can go, it can start with the AKs in Tarrant County, and then the AKs in Tarrant County can call on the Deltas in Tarrant County, and the Zetas in Tarrant County, and the Sigma Gamma Rhos in Tarrant County, and then the black fraternities in Tarrant County. And now all of a sudden, you're going to have thousands of black people mobilized and organized to drive this campaign home. And let's see what y'all gonna do. Eugene, Rebecca, go.
So real quick, I actually agree. Probably you don't even need to make Crystal Mason the face of this. But what you should do is go down to the courthouse, find the last 10, 15,000 cases that his office prosecuted. This data's out there. Use the data the same way Republicans use it. Those people target every last one of their family members above 18.
Oh, you got that. In the jail, dozens of people have died in that jail because of this sheriff.
Roland, the thing is this, right? You got 10,000 folks. If you're targeting 5 or 6 per, your margin's right there.
I got it. Go.
But even worse, there's a lot of black men who have been killed in Tarrant County by law enforcement, and there hasn't been charges brought. So there's a ton of things. But what I would say is, I talk to people on the ground in Tarrant County. I talk to them all. What are y'all going to do to get this? What are y'all going to do to get this district attorney out of office and to find someone who's actually going to be responsive to the community? And the response that I got back from these people was, oh, well, we're waiting for the Democratic Party.
Wow.
No.
And so this is my point of that. In strategy and strategic planning, you have the strategy, you have goals, and you have tactics. The Democratic Party can be a tactic, but it should never be the strategy.
And that's why I keep saying this is not a party thing. This is a black thing. And I need black people. Don't depend on a party, which is why I keep telling people, give your money to Black Voters Matter, give it to Until Freedom, give it to black organizations who are on the ground, who you know are going to spend it with our people, because that's how you actually change this thing. That's how you can actually shift this. And I'm telling you, if what we're laying out, Tarrant County can be taken.
Yes.
It's there for the taking. The problem is, it has not been organized and has not been mobilized. And if you then take Tarrant County in November and you target next year, then you can take those congressional seats. And guess what? There are Republicans all across Texas who right now are afraid because they've gone so far with these racially gerrymandered maps. They like, wait a minute, there's a lot of black people who have now been shifted into Republican districts. And literally there are 10 Republicans who are like, we could get taken out because of what we just did, but they will never be taken out if we stay at home.
Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase. Listen to what I'm about to tell you. The window to invest in Fanbase is closing. We've raised over $10.6 million of our $17 million goal. That means there's room for less than 6,370 people to invest in Fanbase for the average amount. The minimum to invest in Fanbase right now is $399. That makes you an owner in Fanbase today. Go to startengine.com/fanbase to invest. Why? Because current social apps have taken advantage of users for far too long, with content suppression, shadow banning, harmful racist content, and no real tools for monetization and equity. Fanbase has over 1.4 million users and counting, allowing anyone to reach all their following and monetize their content from day one. Social media is the new TV, and whoever owns the apps that distribute that content have the opportunity to own potential billion-dollar companies. While big platforms with uncertain futures are failing to serve their users, Fanbase is stepping up to fill the gap. Don't wait until it's too late. Invest now, invest for yourself and your future. Go to startengine.com/fanbase and own the next generation of social media.